Yo, 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 what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Professor Pitch back in there, bitch. Out trying to get active, trying to get live. My lips almost stuck together that time, but we got through it though. Last week been struggling to get through that. I don't know why, but it ain't been rolling off the tongue like it's supposed to be. But we might have to come up with something new, something shorter. But little honey dip, yeah, baby. But yeah, last week was a rough week. So prior to coming to this weekend announcement, especially on AU, I wanted to look and see why I got cooked. And for the most part, kind of found the explanation, but kind of didn't. Um, Most of this is basically just going off of third, but what I'm looking at is price action was bearish. All this price action way back up here, but once what is this March? Way back in March, we came up in this area and started to just chop around, chop around. Well, as I went back and just, watched, looked at price action, what I saw was we kind of had this little doji candle right here within the market, which some could identify as order block, is what I'm identifying as an order block. The reason I'm identifying it as order block because what we see here is price action came and created a little doji candle right up in her. We came down and broke structure looking left. Right over here, we come back and we touch back into that area. And then next real motion we have is a breaker structure to the downside. So price action again starts to, line back, retrace, whatever. This point right up in here does not push up into that zone, causing that next breaker structure. So I kind of said, okay, I do understand why this price action here didn't come down and break structure looking left. And then what do you have immediately next? Price action pushing back into that area looking left, and then you got your breaker structure. So as price action go on, you get the pretty much same price action pattern pushing into that level looking left. You get the breaker structure immediately looking as price action go forward and as price action return. The only thing I don't understand about this price action is why we tapped into this level so many times. The only thing I came up with was, we potentially just there are so many orders within this level or this area right here within the market that price action has to come back to that level a couple of times before pushing to the downside. And what we see here is, or what I kind of came up with is grab orders, break structure, looking left. So we do have big bearish opportunities for this market to potentially shoot to the downside based on price action coming from that level, breaking structure looking left every time that it tapped into that level. So now we pretty much, I guess, grab the last amount of orders. The only way I'll be able to confirm this theory is once price action breaks below this level again, and then manages to stay to the downside. If price action returns back to the top side after breaking this low, I guess we can continue with that theory. But overall, I'm looking for price action to pretty much continue to go bearish on AU. Yeah, last week was rough. Um, got chopped up quite a bit. But overall, if you take that daily order block pretty much concept out of the picture, what we're looking at is on the daily chart, price action for the most part from the swing low to the swing high is pushing bullish or was pushing bullish. And then last week, price action is what kind of restarted the retracement phase as we, started breaking structures, looking left, kind of got a little retest here and continue to go bearish. I kind of am looking for areas on the lower time frames for price action to run into based off of higher time frame chart identifications. And right now, price action is steamrolling into a couple of those levels right now. Kind of got a level I'm looking at 66,350 to see how price action reacts once it taps into that area. If it does tap into that 66,350 area and continue to break through, then the next area I'm looking for is right down in here. I got this 4-hour order block kind of identified right up in that 66,100 area up to that 66,200 area. So if price action breaks through this top zone, I'm looking for it to react from. I'm looking for it to come down and then potentially react from here and resume some type of bullish pattern to take buys back into the highs. Um, um, ultimately because the daily time frame was pushing bullish, and this could be just a retracement phase to send us back into the highs. But if we go based off of that order block theory, then price action is going to potentially break through the structure looking left. So kind of, a probably sit back and wait on AU type of week, simply because I see two great possible scenarios. We could push bullish as we push into some of these retracement areas looking left. Even when you pivot snotchy on that thing, see, you're right at that point 70. So if it does continue to keep leaking, yeah, I probably could see the bearish scenario setting up. But the other thing you do have to keep in mind is every time we broke structure looking left last time, we immediately retraced back into the highs. So yeah, a lot of hold on one second. So pretty much, yeah. Pretty much AU will be a sit back and wait game this week. Got some levels identified looking left where I'm looking for price action to react to try and roll back over bullish. But for the most part, it looked like it's just gonna come out and leak. Cause looking at the price action where price action started to go bullish, pushing into the highs on the daily time frame. As price action started to make higher highs and higher lows right back up in here, this first initial push doesn't break structure right up in here. And then when we start to go back bearish, we do not break lows right back up in here. So as this push all the way up into this high, breaking this high, I'm considering this all one push. Do see this level right here in the middle that didn't get retested. So kind of got it outlined as a 4-hour order block. Now, at this point in time, no, I do not know if that's a 4-hour order block. But in theory, I just got that outline to say, okay, well, if price action come down here and get fumbling with them keys, that could be potentially an area within the market as to why price action is fumbling with them keys. So we gonna see if it potentially wants to roll back over bullish from this point right down here. We gonna hop in and get active But ultimately big bearish. So should be looking for the best bearish, best shorting possibility on AU, but definitely would need some type of retracement first before potentially this frame or set up any good setups as far as taking continuation shorts on AU. But yeah, overall daily is bullish, 4-hour bearish. Currently making a new lower low. Hourly is bearish as well. 15 minutes kind of consolidating right down here. Yeah, right up in this range. So if we break above this kind of 15-minute resistance right up in here, potentially could see price action retest back into that hourly resistance. Potentially it even could push higher than that, but ultimately wanting to see price action to retrace back up in her, do some funkiness right up in her, and then get up in there and get the fumbling with them keys, something like this. And then looking to take that short as price action start to create right up in the market with this type of price action pattern right up in here. But yeah, outside of that, yeah, probably just gonna chill on AU for a minute. Looking over at UJ, definitely had a lot of time to push back on this one and kind of see why I kind of went wrong as far as trying to catch these buys. Definitely had them outlined all week last week, but after pretty much probably about Tuesday and Wednesday, I kind of gave up on trying to um, take the buys because I've kind of felt like price action was going to take off from right where it was, and it didn't. But had the um, untested level identified last week on the weekly chart. Um, did have a position down here, right over here, got wicked into. Ultimately, I think the original stops were below here. Let me see. Find the UJ loans. Okay, yeah. So right over here, original USD JPY trades from last week. The stops were beneath that 1 hour support. So based on this original setup right over here, still potentially would have got stopped out and buys or something like this. Looking to retest the highs last week. Potential stops on that last picture was here. So potentially, ultimately, would have potentially got stopped out right there. But needless to say, went back and just kind of reviewed price action as it eventually played out and just kind of saw how price action reacted to structure looking left. Ultimately, the hourly does look like it's rolling over bullishly. So ultimately, we'll be looking for a retracement probably to try to catch continuation buys on UJ. But going back out to the higher time frames on the daily, we kind of had that weekly order block, kind of concept identified, and how UJ is different from AU's order block concept. Well, what we saw the last time we visited this was price action came down and started breaking structure from that area within the market that we saw last time. But once we tapped into that area last time, we did not break structure looking left. So when price action came into that area 2 weeks ago, what we said was we want to see how does price action come back down. Do we break structure looking left? We didn't the last time we came down. So potentially, if we don't break structure, we could be trying to push back into the high. So that's why I was heavily looking for them buys last week on UJ. But after getting cooked, like I said, a few times early in the week, I was like, man, all that. Yeah, it was a bad. It wasn't. I wouldn't say it was a bad week. It was pretty break even. I've had a couple of the bigger losses, probably about two or three of them. But I mean, it is what it is. We're looking to make it back this week. Not necessarily revenge trading, but we're looking to adapt within the market and see where price action is looking to go and potentially hop into some profitable setups. But overall, I do feel like UJ is going to continue to go big bullish. I want to skip and jump out of order, kind of like one of the things that I pointed out on the last video when we looked at gold. All right, so if you didn't get a chance to catch that gold video, I'm gonna drop the link right up in the corner of the YouTube video, and it's gonna kind of show you. I'm gonna also throw the minute mark in there, so it kind of points out where I pointed out where gold was and where it was going. But looking at it right here, um, this is when I came to the chart and gold was pulled up. Um, Looked at it and said, okay, price action was big bullish right back and up here. Came, pushed and made a high, potential new higher low, failed to create new highs, and then we rolled over bearish. So we do have a breaker structure on the hourly chart. Like we always say, when we see that breaker structure on the hour, we're looking for a deeper retracement back within that 4 hour range, black zones in the back. So as we get that bearish push, breaking structure looking left, we considering this the retracement, looking pushing into structure looking left, and looking to see if there's any shorting opportunities as price action climb back up into the highs. Now, at this point, you don't necessarily have any proof just yet. Hold on. All right, so we look at price action push back into the highs right back over here, looking at structure, looking left, and we see the reaction. I think this was news right here as well. We see the reaction close below structure. So, like I said, with the video, I'm gonna drop up in the top corner. What I pointed out was price action closed below structure here. So, I was like, oh yeah, better be looking for some shorts on gold. Um, Looking back on it, potentially how you potentially could have got into this trade, look for the exhaustion here. Not necessarily have the initial signal unless you've taken these type of setups before. Um, could have had potential shorts from that potential area come down, but ultimately, as price action retrace one more time and then look down the lower time frames, this is where you could have got your entry from. Price action pushed into the highs, broke structure looking left. So the range is now from here to here. Looking for that retracement back into where price action came from. This level right here pretty much held up. So potentially could have took some shorts as you saw price action start to roll back over bearish. So we pushed up into the highs, breaking structure looking left, pushed down, created a higher low, pushed up, gave you a new high, but this would have been hard to get in right here. Yeah, that would have been tricky. I think this might have been another news event. I don't know. I know this definitely was news, but ultimately went bearish. But I don't trade gold that often. So if you kind of expect this type of price action coming from gold, then you know how to hop in and get in and what are expected potential retracements to come to. But ultimately, what I would be continuing to look for is price action, rolling over bearish on the hourly time frame, ultimately looking for the retracement of the 4 hour range. Um, uh, Looking to see if we're gonna break through this 1 hour support. Definitely could go back and see some areas to line up, potentially looking left, see if price action does come back into the zones or areas and or areas. And see if it start to roll back over bullets. So definitely would take something like this. Um, something weird. Get up out of there. So anything right backing up in here, any of these levels, definitely will be taking continuation buys back up to the top side. Looking at gold, uh, being bullish on the higher time frames. If it does decide to roll over and continue to go bearish, then she's got a huge range on the higher time frames from that 4 hour support all the way back down into that daily demand type area. So mm, pretty much got a big ass area to get busy on gold if it does continue to go bearish, but ultimately price action is bullish on the higher time frame, so should be setting up the best buying bullish opportunities to get busy on this week. And then but right now I think what we got right here, daily bullish, 4 hour bullish, 1 hour bearish, 15-minute ranging right up here. So ultimately, everything gold gonna continue to go bullish. We'll look to see, we'll like to see what price action does once price gets above that 22. I would call it 20, 23 to call it even. Look to see price action continue to make higher highs and higher lows above that area and potentially try to scalp some buys back into the highs. But let me see. Yeah. I would look for her section to come down a little bit more. I would want to see it come down a little bit more. Then try to frame the buys from the downside. I like that setup a little bit better. Coming down a little bit deeper into this 4 hour demand, then rolling over back to the top side. Uh, but potentially we gonna see a go back to UCAD. This here again, pretty much same kind of mentality that I took in the market, trying to hit on UJ. Um, saw this on UCAT. Identified this in the previous video as well. Looking for price action to close above that area last week. Once it did, you best believe I was shooting like Jordan in the playoffs, um, shooting from the downside. And price action pushed up and see right there. Let's see how much is push up for before I trail. Um, I hadn't got cooked a few times this week at this point. So as price action pushed up them quick 25 pips, I did start to trail stops on that position. And ultimately the trailing stops did get trailed out. But had I held on, I think I had original stops maybe right up under there. What was it? No, it was in between this level. So original stops probably would have got tagged out on the little position I was trying to get in, ultimately trying to see if price action was going to roll back over to the top side, but it ended up did come back and retest that little imbalance area we had identified on the higher time frames. The didn't have it identified on there, but do have that. Do I do have that area identified now? Price action pushed back into that level for continuing to go back bullish. But we had once price action closed above this level. Didn't pretty much see this scenario playing out. Would be something to potentially look into more often on UCAT, as I don't trade UCAT too often, but I did identify that level and did notice that price action had a huge range back to the top side to potentially come back to retest now. As in where price action is now, the I want to see how price action breaks out of this little 15-minute area it's stuck in right now. But ultimately, definitely would like to see a retracement kind of closing some of this right up here. When it does come back down, it potentially could leak a good bit before going back bullish. But ultimately, the hourly time frame has rolled over back big bullish. You see the dailies identifying bullish, the 4 hourly structure is bearish, pushing back in deep into demand looking left. We do get the big bullish. We can delete this. We do get the big bullish reaction back into the highs, but ultimately we need to break through this area right over here within the market that sent price action big bears into the market. So definitely could be expecting a retracement on UCAT before seeing some big continuation buys. But if it does come out big bullish and does continue to go bullish, then just let it skyrocket. Wait for the retracement and then get up out of there. Potentially on a lower time frame, could look for that setup. If it push big bullish, then catch the retracement and potentially catch some scalp buys. Um, Based off the lower time frame, but higher time frames, I think. Um, if we're looking for potential swing sales, it would be best to try to catch a retracement back down into this somewhat area right down up in here, and then try to catch them in the lower time frame, rolling over bullish and get nasty with them. Just know the G U. I don't know what to say about GU. Um, I did take short opportunities on GU last week. I think I hopped in somewhere right up in her. Was not interested in how price action was moving at all. Like I said, was getting cooked. So any type of pullbacks that was going against my entry, I was definitely trying to stop from them. But shot one shot on GU. I think this is it right here. Uh yes, GU entry was 26,107. Looking to retest back into 1 hour support. What number I said? 26,107. So way back end up in her, way up here. 26,107. Took shorts as price action. Let me see. No, come on again. 26,107. Is that right? Way up there. Mm, I think I had all right, let me see. Yeah, I think I had shorts as price action just broke structure right back in over here in the lower time frames. 26,107. Somewhere way back up here. Let's see what were the original stops. 26. Let's see what I think it was over here is where I got in 26. What time from this is a 15-minute 26,107. But either way, took shorts right back in over here. Price action started getting funky. I think I'm trying to think where was them shorts. I think it was right up here. What day was that? Weekly open. This was Sunday, so this would have been Monday's shorts. Right up in here. I think it was right here, 26,107. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, took shorts probably right up in here. Like I said, price action started getting funky. As price action started to leak here, I probably trailed stopped there and then ended up getting trailed out as price action skyrocketed back into the highs. One more again, grabbing liquidity before it rolled over bears, but um, yeah, like I said, last week was just it was rough. But looking at this week, price action has rolled over bears on the hourly. 4 hourly is still identifying bullish until we close below that 124, 354. We do got big bearish opportunities in the market. So if price action just opens up and just keep leaking, let it leak. Once it starts to retrace, we want to start getting ready, start shooting from backing up her. Um, and then, if this area doesn't hold up, potentially eyes go back and up in here, and then try to see if we can catch it back to the downside as price action break below this 4 hour support right over here. We would be identifying big bearish on the higher time frames. And then we'll be looking for price action to pull back into yeah, we have huge ass range on this. Yeah. Potentially could be looking for them continuation shorts. GU looking over to GJ one more. You see, look shorts on GJ right here as well. Caught GJ from the top, got wicked out right over here, then it leaked. So salty, so salty. Listen, I tell you, GJ right here. All the shorts, 175.65, 175.65. So somewhere right up in here. Um, I think I probably had a buy stop set. Yeah, sell limit set. And then 165.65 where I got tagged in, and then I had stops right above this high right over here. I got wicked out and price action just leaked. All that pretty much is identified in a previous video. Um, Price action, we do have identifying big bullish on a daily time frame from swing low to swing high, retracement phase on a 4 hour time frame, high to low, lower high, lower low on the 4 hour. So currently bearish on the 4 hour time frame. Hourly time frame, previous lower high creates new lower low, is also bearish on the hourly time frame. 15 minute is currently bullish though. We're currently pushing, making high highs and high lows on that 15 minute time frame. So ultimately looking for a price action to react anywhere within this hourly time frame to see if we can continue to go bearish. Looking for continuation shorts back to the downside, but if we do break above this hourly resistance right here, could see price action push back into that 4 hour resistance. Go back and retest to see if we can now start to roll back over. Big bullish, following that higher time frame trend, potential higher highs and higher lows. See if we can get that on the chart on this for all the people in the back. Higher highs and higher lows. Yes, sir. But yeah, uh, definitely want to see price action roll back over bears on that 15 minute. Potentially started shooting for some shorts, but outside of that, yeah, probably just gonna wait to see what happens right back up in this area, and then start busting out my automatic weapon. Kind of already went over gold. But yeah, pretty much in the middle of the range on a lot of these pairs. A lot of them are pushing and making new structural lows. So definitely would be like a retracement, sit back and kind of counterpunch type of week versus hopping into the market thinking you about to catch some shit, keep leaking to the downside and price action pull back on your ass. You be looking at the market like, oh my god, what happened, Billy? Oh my gosh, I blew my account. They blew my account, bro. I ain't blew account since 89, baby. 89 with the old Cadillac. Diamond in the back. Plant root top. No, I'm just kidding. Um, but yeah, I think that's all we pretty much got for this weekend's analysis. Yeah, price action either done leaked or then topped out. So definitely best to wait for them retracement trades. Now, it ain't nothing to say price action can't open up and continue to go big bullish, but you risky business at that point. So just hopping in price action as it's already extending, most of the people who do this for, who've been in the market for a while, they know wait for them pullbacks. Just like this could just be a retracement phase back into that level to see it continue to go back bearish. But we're gonna have to see how price action develop to potentially strike to see which direction we ultimately gonna continue to go. Ultimately, because we're bullish on the daily, I would like continuation buys to the top side on UCAD, UJ, ultimately bullish. I would like continuation buys as well on UJ, AU. I'm gonna roll with the daily order block theory, basically saying that price action is going to continue to go big burst. So I would like to see how price action reacts to the areas that I have identified on the higher time frames. And then try to make a decision on whether I think it's going to pull back or continue to go bear. So kind of toss up on AU, right? Paper, rock, scissors type situation on that joint. GU, uh, don't know. GU is in a critical spot because it started closing below. We could see some leakage to the downside, and we, uh, but yeah, at this point, I would expect a retracement. Higher time frames are big bullish, but 4 hour is trying to roll over big bearish. The hourly then already rolled over big bearish. Let's see, the 15 is still big bearish. So pretty much looking for the best shorting opportunities on GU. GJ, I don't know. I think I'm smelling another retracement on GJ one more time into the lows before cranking back up and really pushing into the highs. But we gonna see. But um very much a paper rock scissors type situation on GJ as well. Sit back and wait. And then gold expecting continuous shorts on gold, back into demand, looking left. And yeah, we're just gonna see how that playlist roll out into next week. Hopefully, we come in with some better results than what we cracked last week. Hopefully, a lot of these chart analysis play out, and we can, get back in the swing of things and um, yeah, see what price action do for us. But outside of that, that's all I got for y'all ass. I'm about to slide up out of there because it's kind of late. I need something to drink. My throat dry. Yeah, so I'm out of there. Wait, hold on. Before we slide up out of there, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. If you got a mother, or if you are a mother, happy Mother's Day to you. Tell your mom happy Mother's Day. Peace in the border. He agrees. Give her a rose for me. Give her a rose for you. I'm out of that thing. Oh, happy Mother's Day to my mom. Mom, if you watching, happy Mother's Day. I'm gonna call you later. Get some Kool-Aid and chicken. I'm on the way. Get everybody in the backyard. We're gonna throw a party at D-Bar. I'm out of here.